You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you may on Twitter, The Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of a Masquerade in the Woods. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. All that for as little as $5, y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. He closes his eyes, turning his head. When I saw you with that piece of glass in your paw, He thought of him. I miss him. So much. All the time. Not a goddamn day goes by that I don't regret not going with him. For the first time, I hear his voice waver from its usual stoic tone. He sounds heartbroken? Hurt? Vulnerable. I couldn't bear watching him. You do that to yourself. I need you. I need your help finding him. I lift my arm, just barely making out the old scars beneath the coat of fur. I'm not some battle-hardened vigilante, Shepard. None of us are. We're not vigilantes or heroes or soldiers. We're all just doing our best. You seem pretty battle-hardened to me. Different battles, different loyalties. Not all of them physical. By that standard, we're all seasoned veterans. He carefully wraps his digits around my forearm, his large thumb gently moving through the fur. Even you. Not all scars are carried beneath the fur, Tiny. Yeah, he's right about that. What are you doing? River rummages through the different metal drawers I can only imagine are supposed to be used for tools, now stuffed with a small pharmacy. Prepping. I'm about to ask what for, but she elaborates before I get the chance. In case they're hurt. Oh. God, we just left them. We could have helped. We should have helped. I slide down the cold pillar, pulling my knees close to my chest. I shouldn't have run in the first place. If I had just stayed, none of this would have happened. What if they're hurt? River stops her search and turns to me. Just in case. I nod. Right, just in case. I lean back against the concrete pillar, rolling my shoulder. It doesn't hurt so bad after whatever River gave me. I didn't really stop to ask what it was before I took it, but it's helping, that's for sure. I lift my arm, carefully untangling it from the makeshift sling she fashioned in the forest, and roll my wrist. Feeling my stomach growl, I put my paw over it. I'm really hungry. I can barely remember the last time I ate. Must have been that grilled cheese at Lucas's place. Maybe we can get something once they're back. I'd be surprised if they're not hungry too. The rabbit lets out a frustrated sigh, crossing the room to Mason's workbench, passing the thick metal door at the end of the long hall. I swear, if that possum stole my stuff again, she mumbles under her breath. I lift my finger towards a slab of steel. What's in there? She shoots it a quick glance, shrugging. Armory. She turns back to the workbench, and whatever else Shepard keeps hidden away. The heavy door hangs heavy on the hinges, a stark contrast to the beige stone surrounding it. What else does he keep in there? Fuck if I know. Feel free to ask him yourself. I feel my stomach sink a little. He already thinks I'm hiding things. Inquiring about his secrets might just seem more suspicious. I'd rather not. Well, in that case, it comes down to whether or not you trust that he isn't keeping some weird shit back there. I don't know if I trust him to begin with. After what he pulled back at the bar. River scans the table with a sigh. Reluctantly, I muster the courage to ask. Whatever happened between you and him? River shrugs her shoulders nonchalantly, but judging by the way her head falls ever so slightly, she cares more than she'd like to admit. 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright. Ludwig happened. Even while he's seeing the back of her head, her demeanor seems to change. Strolled into his life out of nowhere and completely changed him. Why'd you stick around? I didn't, she hisses. But then Lou joined our group. She takes another deep breath and shakes her head, signaling the end of the conversation, as her snow paw runs through her hair. I decide to change the subject rather staying on her good side after tonight. What are you looking for? Stapler, she calls out, bending down to look through his stuff. Stapler? I stand up, rotating around the pillar, back still pressed to the rough surface. Oh, like a medical stapler? Yeah, Mason likes to borrow my shit for his arts and crafts. She lifts her paw out of the drawer, a white plastic stapler raised, without returning it. She walks back over, placing it among the rest of the supplies she's gathered. Bandages, scissors, and what looks like a plastic tube attached to a Velcro strap. She suddenly stops, lifting her head with a blank stare. Her ear twitches, turning towards the open door. Her head quickly follows. What? I dart my eyes between the doorway and the rabbit. What is it? She hurriedly makes her way towards the entrance, swiping a scalpel off the stretcher. Someone's here. She grips the metal blade, edged down, getting behind the column closest to the entrance. I follow her, getting behind the one opposite, looking out to the dark forest. Is it them? I don't know. I strain my ears, trying to hear whatever she's hearing. What I hear is the sound of the wind moving through the trees, and an owl in the distance. Almost there now, big guy. We look at each other, before both rushing for the door. Oh boy. River slides a scalpel in the back of her pants as we jog down the gravel path to the road. Just as we reach it, two figures stumble out of the woods. Mason staggers forward, his mask buckled to his belt. Over his shoulders hang the arms of the big dog, practically carrying Lucas on his back. The canine's head hangs low over Mason's side, the mask askew on his face but still attached. They're both covered in blood. Fucking hell! Mason stumbles through the ditch, supporting himself on his free arm. We hurry over to meet them on the road. Sup, guys? Mason greets us with a heavy pant. River and I lift Lucas's arms off of him and onto our shoulders instead. How bad is it? Mason leans down with his paws on his knees, breathing heavily. His flattened backpack slides down his shoulder and hits the ground with a thud. We're alive, aren't we? By the look of Lucas, it's almost hard to believe. We hurriedly carry him inside to the stretcher, relieved to hear the big dog's heavy breaths in my ear, despite the overwhelming metallic smell coming off of him. At least he's breathing. Mason limps up the path behind us. Removing his jacket, we lay the big dog down on the makeshift bed. River's quick to lift his head and unbuckle his mask, but part of me wishes she hadn't. It comes away sticky, revealing the nest beneath. Oh, fuck! His muzzle is covered in smeared, half-dried blood, his normally cream-colored fur is stained a dark red. His mouth is slightly agape, and despite the makeup, it's clear his left eye is badly bruised and swollen. Fuck! Fuck! She turns away for a second before quickly coming back around. What the fuck took you so long? River asks the possum as she begins running her paws along Lucas's body. A second, y'all. Water time. God, that fucking giant white dog he tackled must have been an absolute monster. When she reaches his chest, he lets out a low moan, tilting his head to the side. You think carrying all that through the woods is easy? Plus, had to make sure we weren't followed. He lets out a groan as he drops down into the couch, having pulled a chair with him to put his leg up. God, he's hurt too, isn't he? Well, we'll have to get him to a hospital. Cody, cut his shirt. Fuck. This is all my fault. I did this. Fuck. Cody! She hands me a pair of scissors. Pull yourself together! I grab them, instinctively lining them up at the bottom of his stomach with shaky paws. No, at the seam. Here. Shit, right. I nod, readjusting to where she points, and begin cutting. River walks over to the drawers, opening and closing different ones in search of something. Shouldn't we get him to town as soon as possible? Better do what we can here first. You see that fucking monster of a dog? Fuck, that mutt could take a punch. Fucking lucky to be alive. Look over to the possum lounging back on the couch, realizing he must be talking about the Snow White canine. The one they called Benny. For some reason, I get the feeling I've heard the name before, but I can't place where. Yeah, someone shot him and he barely flinched. Mason nods, pulling his hip flask from his pocket. Mm-hmm. Fucker didn't give a shit no matter how many hits we landed. Strong as a bull. Hit like a fucking train, too. I finish cutting Lucas's shirt off, lifting it aside as River returns. Who shot him? We quickly switch positions, placing me by Lucas's head. Lucas, I think. Sounded like his rifle. She dumps the equipment she gathered on the stretcher between his legs. Must have been drugged out of his mind if he didn't flinch. She runs her paw through the fur on his stomach, showing the purple bruising hiding beneath his coat. The Band-Aid covering yesterday's knife wound is soaked red. She gets her fingers beneath the sticky tape, pulling it off, eliciting another soft moan from the canine. He tilts his head with a groan, throwing his big paw up and placing it on my chest. I quickly grab hold of his wrist to support it. Hey there, handsome. What? I blink, looking down at the big dog as his mouth curls into a small smile, his eyes fluttering open ever so slightly. River pushes me aside, leaning down over his face, sniffing his bruised muzzle. She pulls away, turning towards the possum on the couch with a cold, deadpan expression. He's drunk. Mason casually shrugs his shoulders, lowering the hip flask from his lips. You were carrying the oxy. She groans, pressing her palm to her forehead. And it didn't occur to you that alcohol thins your blood? River practically growls at the possum, who simply shoots a glance down at the flask in his paw. If he has a fucking concussion and you got him drunk, you're dead. Before turning back to the intoxicated canine. And there wasn't even any oxy in my bag. I thought those things were supposed to be pre-packed. Blame Shep. Guess since you haven't been out much, he took it out. I swear to fucking God, that hyena's gonna be the death of you all. She mumbles as she lifts a small pen above Lucas's bruised face. As she presses the back of it, I realize it's a flashlight. She carefully pries his eyes open with her free paw, examining them. Lucas, in his unsober state, lifts his big arm back up, weakly pawing at her side. Does he have a concussion? Another moment passes as she moves the flashlight back and forth. She tosses it aside with a sigh. Can't tell while he's fucking wasted. Is there anything else I can help him with? Massaging her eyes, she straightens her head with a sigh. Give me the stapler. I nod, turning to snatch it off the desk. River prepares a fresh cloth, cleaning the blood out of the fur around the wound. Second, y'all. Water time. And turn that lamp on. She tilts her head up at the desk lamp next to the stretcher. I lean forward, reaching over Lucas to get to the switch. Lucas rolls his head, throwing his arm over my back. I turn it on, but when I go to back away, Lucas holds me in place. You're so warm, he mumbles. And wet. I carefully slide out from underneath his heavy arm, placing it down by his side. He's right, though. My clothes are still pretty damp from the swim earlier. Using my claws, I open the plastic holder up to make sure it's loaded before handing it to Silver. She takes a quick look at it before getting to work. I awkwardly stand at her side, watching as she begins stapling his torn skin back together. Figuring I should make myself useful, I grab another cloth and begin cleaning his face. As carefully as I can, I pull the cloth along his muzzle, rinsing the dried blood out of his thick fur. He instinctively tilts his head away, so I bring my other paw up to hold his head in place. He mumbles something under his breath I can't quite catch as I work the wet rag against his face. I'm so sorry, Lucas. After another couple of minutes, and a few trips back and forth to clean the rag in the sink, most of the blood is gone. I step back, running a paw through my hair. Hell of a night, huh? I jump as the possum speaks up behind me, leaned up against the concrete pillar. I let out a weak chuckle, nodding with a sigh as I step over. Mason digs his paw down his pocket, pulling out his hip flask. Stainless steel but wrapped in black electrical tape. He offers it to me, shrugging his shoulders as if to say, why not? Oh, no, River gave me painkillers. I object in a low voice. So, a swig can't hurt. You deserve it, dude. A toast to staying alive. Take a swig. I glance over at the rabbit, focus on wrapping Lucas's paw in the bandage before taking the bottle. Fuck it, whatever. A swig never killed anyone. I take it, lifting the worn opening to my nose. Smells just like cough syrup. Sweet licorice fennel anise. Yep, I know exactly what it is. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out that Patreon if you can. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!